Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel as with you. Always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP, so I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Wherever you are in this great world, we're going to talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $220. You know, every day that I sat down this past week to make videos, we were either at or around $220 in the middle of night. Last night, XRP broke out, almost breaking above $2.25. But there's some resistance on the way up to $2.30. If we get above $230, then it's time to start talking about a major breakout happening. But right now, XRP still looks really good. We're just going sideways, but XRP is still showing a lot of strength as well. Look at Bitcoin. XRP right now is doing better than Bitcoin. And again, a lot of people are saying XRP starting to decouple from Bitcoin. We're just not quite at that point yet. For most part, we're still following Bitcoin holding. The ground strongest of them all, XRP has held its ground, despite a violent correction across the market. A new all-time high is inevitable. And it's true. I mean, we are going to see a new all-time high. We are eventually going to go into price discovery. It's just a matter of time when people sing crazy numbers about Bitcoin. No one disputes when someone talks about XRP at $20 or $30 range. It's the doomsday. PTSD takes over Bitcoin. Volatility decreases while XRP's is increasing. As I mentioned earlier, XRP is one that has the potential to see significant gains in this run, not Bitcoin. The maximum return on investment that you can expect from XRP at this point is possibly a 2x from where it is at the moment. Everyone is predicting 20 to 50x, and I see people calling for a 100x, but I think we are definitely going to see a 10x. You could start looking at possible 20, 30, 40x as well, but we really don't know what's going to happen yet. You see, when people talk about Bitcoin hitting crazy price points, they always bring up the issue by pointing out that there is only 21 million Bitcoin, which is why the price will continue to rise. However, in reality, the majority of the value in Bitcoin is Tether, not actual value. Set supply, you don't have to go if demand rises. MIT is aware of what will occur. Listen to it. Here, Brad Garlinghouse observes that, comparatively speaking, there is a fixed supply and rising demand, and when endowment organizations are involved, I don't know if they do now, but when they enter the market, you have fixed supply, increasing demand. So you don't have to go to MIT to know what's going to happen. Joey and I were in a meeting not too long ago with some of the biggest institutional money in the world, and they were trying to learn about cryptocurrency. For the record, I did not attend MIT, but we all know that demand for XRP will continue to rise. We are currently waiting for the next big thing, which will involve ETFs, to happen, but many institutions are also buying in the background when people are selling. This is because they want to position themselves before the real breakout even begins, and given supply and demand, it will only be a matter of time until institutions buy up $37 million in XRP last week. While Bitcoin and Ethereum saw outflows, XRP is expected to outperform, and even in this article, they discuss how institutional investors are purchasing XRP. The reason money is moving out of Ethereum and Bitcoin is due to the return on investment. For starters, Ethereum isn't as hyped as it once was, and with Bitcoin, as I mentioned, you could expect to get a 2x. Everyone wants a great return on their investment. And the great returns are in utility-driven cryptocurrencies, because once the institutions arrive, they're not just coming here to buy and hold a cryptocurrency. They want to open up a variety of opportunities, and they also want to use something for its actual use case and utility when sending money around the globe. By 2030, the XRP price is expected to reach $29.30. Bitwise report. What I detest most about this post is that it seems to be intended to either discourage people from investing in XRP or to persuade them to sell it. It's 2025. And do you really Think it will take 5 years for XRP to hit 2,930 years? Right now, people are predicting 3 digits in this run, while others are predicting conservative price points that are still above $29.30. By 2025, I still think we're going to go higher than that too. I think that's a great starting point, and I think there will be a lot of FOMO happening with price discovery. Everyone will be buying XRP, including those you mentioned to XRP, too, and they'll be phoning you to ask if it's too late for them to get into XRP now. I like Crypto Prince's forecasts. My forecast for the price of XRP, I agree that the quick climb from $3 to $5 will start in May 2025. And I believe that ETFs will be introduced along with the resolution of the Ripple vs. SEC lawsuit. June 2025. $3.50 to $5, almost the same amount he predicts a minor decline and consolidation in July 2025. But I don't think that will occur because, once the ETFs go online, I believe there will be a steady stream of money entering those ETFs, driving up their price even more. September 2025, 10 to 12, significant breakthrough. October 2025, $12 to $15 is in line with what most people are predicting, which is that by the end of this year, we're going to see 2 digits for XRP, high 2 digits. And then early 2026 is when the top comes in at 3 digits plus. The reason I don't do charts is because you could say whatever you want all day long, and it looks like we're going to break out and hit this price point. But then all of a sudden some real-world event drops, and we end up dumping out. This is the reason why no one could call these markets 100%. If they could, everyone would be a millionaire by now. The BIS Innovation Hub has been working tirelessly to create the Internet, which uses an interledger protocol called a Ripple protocol. Nandan states that by December it may be ready for deployment. Take a listen. And we think over the next few months by December this year, we'll actually have enough working technology to show this working. And these are in multiple areas. Deposits and, wallets, ledgers, and so on. I think we believe that the time has come to really implement the fintech approach, and if we can work with making it user-centric, universal, and unified, we're really going to create a financial network that works for everyone everywhere, and it's really a question of moving it. Now I think we can demonstrate, in the next few months, technology is not going to be the challenge. Technology will be available. It'll be available as open source. Any country, any company can. So he says the technology is already there. And we know what that technology is. It's Ripplet technology and XRP. But take notice, he said this is going to happen by December of this year, and that lines up with the deployment of Swift ISO 222 messaging standards in November, Fernet in December, Basel III on January 1st, 2026. And that comes from Mr. Man. And that, if happens, could be where we see the flip of switch moment happen. Because they always said the flip of the switch was going to It was going to happen with ISO. And it was going to happen at some point where we see XRP being utilized inside the Finet. So if this happens in December and that flip of the switch happens, everything changes. Any price prediction you've heard up to that point is done, because I think we would see high 3 digits very quick. This is where the banks would come out of the testing phase on the private ledger. But we will all know by the end of this year, blockchain could be headed for ChatGPT moment in adoption. Says Citigroup, here's what's going on. I think everybody's rushing into blockchain right now. You're seeing it getting tied into multiple things. Then you start looking at tokenization happening. Everybody's talking about how blockchain can make everything, faster, and it's going to make it more transparent and safer. Everything can be tracked, so of course we're going to see the rise of blockchain, and we're also going to see the rise of AI with it. It's happening at the same time in parallel, and the reason that is all happening because they're pushing for this to happen. Now, a couple years ago they were still dragging along. It was like happening at a snail's pace. The entire last 4 years, It felt like nothing happened in the United States while Ripple was growing out. All around the rest of the world, but blockchain was also getting embedded into the current financial system. And that's what we were always waiting on. I always said when people would complain that XRP is going sideways, and they're frustrated, always told them, how long do you think it takes to build an entire new financial system? Because of what they're doing, they're creating an even playing field for everyone in the world to have access to the new financial system. I believe it's almost finished now because they're discussing things openly now, such as describing XRP without actually saying XRP, and outlining their plans for the upcoming months. A few years ago, they wouldn't have even discussed this, and the internet was always documented but never discussed. But now that we're in that phase, people are beginning to talk about the IMF, World Bank, BIS, etc. And I always told you that you're very fortunate to be holding XRP at the moment because, for the first time ever, we beat the institutions to something. Listen to this value, okay? The interesting thing about digital assets is that, historically, they were the first asset class that the general public entered before institutions did, which is why everyone is panicking. Ordinary people. This is a retail individual person phenomenon before it became a Wall Street phenomenon. It's one of the first asset classes. I challenge you to find another asset class. So it totally upended the idea of what power looks like. Power structure looks like how technology works. And so I don't want to lose that wisdom was really valuable, regardless of normalizing regulations, ingesting and digesting the sort of the bad actor issues. We should not lose that wisdom. Access to technology to a broad set of people is the way that you mitigate the evils could reside in it. Like I said all along, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the first time ever. Retail, the normal, everyday working person, beat the institutions to something this big, and crypto is going to be even bigger over the coming years. We are still in the early stages. Wait until the institutions get here. It's going to be exciting watch, because you beat them here, and that's why they want to shake you out still. That's why you're watching XRP go sideways at $220. There is no way in hell that this is the actual price of XRP. I mean, come on. You know, we've been held back, suppressed for such a long time. And even now that we got clarity for XRP, the price is sitting at $2.20. Sure, it's showing strength, but I think it should easily be around 2 digits already, if not above $10, but don't worry soon. We will be entering that epic run, and it is going to be something so incredible, you're going to have grown men crying, looking at their portfolios over the coming months, and it is going to be absolutely incredible to be part of this. Don't sell too soon, and until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.